If I could have got JR address that night, yeah, I would have did something stupid probably.
Games with Names is brought to you by WynnBET. It's my favorite app, and it could be yours. Go download it now.
May 21st, 2009, Staples Center, Los Angeles, California.
In a city known for its glitz and glamour
It was the Denver Nuggets.
that shine the brightest.
This is Game 2, the 2009 Western Conference Finals.
Hello, welcome to Games with Names presented by WynnBET. I'm Sam Morril.
And I'm Julian Edelman. And we are on a search to find the greatest games of all time. And on today's episode, we're talking about the 2009 Western Conference Finals, Game 2, Lakers versus the Nuggets. And I swear, this isn't a podcast that hates the Lakers, but maybe kind of hate the Lakers a little. But we like Jeannie Bussey because we're Jeannie Bussey fans. But we both don't like the Lakers because it's LA, but we like Jeannie Bussey. So,
And also the Lakers are the benchmark.
Yeah.
They're a huge... Lakers and Celtics are the number one franchises win-wise in the NBA. We got to trash them a little bit.
that's called a measuring stick team. Every
Yeah.
time you play them, you pull out the measuring stick.
Later today, we'll be joined by Kenyon Martin. Can't wait. We'll check in what was going on in the world in May of 2009. We'll take a look back at both these teams, and we'll wrap up by naming the game and scoring the game.
But follow Games with Names on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. At Games with Names is the handle. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate and review and leave a comment. We want to hear from you.
Why are we doing this match? I mean, this was a pretty cool game. This was a cool series. This is as high as the Nuggets have really flown in my lifetime. I can't think of because I grew up, I guess they had that big upset on the one seed Sonics in the 90s, but you don't think of them as having like a cool, now they have a cool team with Jokic, but like,
Yeah.
this was, I think, the toughest team they've had.
Yeah. I mean, they had Chauncey Billups, Kenyon Martin, and you always forget how good. What's his name?
Carmelo. You always forget his name.
I always forget his name.
No, he was
dude,
generational
talent.
In his prime, Melo was unfreaking guardable.
He couldn't be stopped. Even in the game, in-game interview, he said no one in the world could stop him. 5-team.
I loved it.
He didn't care, and you saw it throughout the game. I mean,
in those baby blue, sweet, silky-looking Nuggets unis.
Can you call it a Carolina blue?
Is it a Carolina blue? It might be even more powdery blue.
Is it more powdery blue than the Carolina blue?
I'll have to do a color palette check, but George Karl is the Carolina guy, so he'd probably say yes.
George Karl coached his team. A lot of the players have trashed him. We got to ask Kmart about that later, but like Kmart was on one of those sports shows being like, he sucked, he's an asshole.
I wonder if it was just tough. I wonder if he was just a tough coach to play for. You know what I mean?
Those 90s coaches, like guys like George Karl, Jerry Sloan, they let some slurs fly. There's no way they weren't. You're like, they've definitely, I mean, look, that's allegedly.
Allegedly.
We don't have any proof on this. It's just a
Zero.
vibe I get. If I met George Karl, I'd be like, did you say the N-word?
Maybe a couple times.
Was that the problem? There's something hard-nosed about him. He definitely did not seem like a player's coach.
No, but this was an era where coaches were coaches and players were players.
Yeah.
And, it's all been misskewed because of how Phil Jackson was with his Zen mentality, because he always had the best teams that had to, get all these superstars to play well together. But most other teams were trying to beat Phil Jackson type teams.
That's a great point. Phil Jackson, you picture him giving you like a Navajo like feather. He's like, this is from Runs with Bull. And then, George Karl's like, run, pussy. That was the two different vibes. Phil Jackson seemed like he'd be fun to play with, but he also, what Phil Jackson feels like he would do? He feel like he would give you like a book. And if you didn't read it like the next day, he'd be like, dude, I gave you a book.
Yeah.
He had that energy.
Full Mr. Miyagi vibes. I don't know why the bonsai tree just came up in my head thinking about that. These little kind of weird tedious drills to build team chemistry. But, screw the
Totally.
Lakers right now. We're here to talk about the Denver Nuggets
Yeah.
and this team that had a shot and won this game too.
They lost this series in 6, but they won this game, and it was a tough matchup. Honestly, for the Lakers, the Lakers went on to win the championship 4-1. They beat the Orlando Magic. Kobe,
Howard.
Yeah, Dwight Howard, Rashard Lewis,
Magic. Yeah.
Turkoglu. That was a fun Magic team.
This was a tough Lakers team to beat.
It was, but I think this was their toughest matchup in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think this was a team that pushed them. But yeah, the Lakers were just destined to win.
It was one of those, this is the championship. If we win this, we got the shit.
No doubt. And they had just come off that loss to the Celtics the year before. So it's like Kobe was like, I'm fucking winning. This was Kobe's first ring without Shaq. They had Andrew Bynum, young Andrew Bynum, Lamar Odom, Paul Gasol, obviously. All these good role players like Derek Fisher. Who was the guy who could jump out of the building? Shannon Brown.
Yep, Shannon Brown.
Jewish Jordan Farmar, my
Farmar.
main Jew from UCLA.
Farmer.
UCLA, Luke Walton.
Luke Walton
Walton.
from Arizona.
And
Arizona.
future head coach of the Lakers, Luke Walton.
Yeah.
Shout out. Even though you don't like his dad.
He just criticizes the Knicks too much.
You just don't like his dad. I think he's fun. He
is fun.
It's like going down a crazy trip listening to him at like 12 o'clock at night from the East Coast doing a Pac-12 basketball game.
If a person were tie-dye,
100%.
he's a fun vibe for
God,
sure.
I hope we can get him on the pod one day.
He'd be good.
My
He's a
dream
good
guest, I
guest.
think.
Yeah?
I think.
I
A
bet
lot of
you
games that we'd have to do a Blazers game, though, probably. When they won.
Blazers or UCLA.
UCLA John Wooden.
Memphis,
Yeah.
he was like almost perfect.
The
one
pyramid
team,
of success.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about
If you're-
college ball.
If you're
Over
on
long
time, you're
slander of this
late.
pod.
5 minutes before the meeting.
If we're doing college ball, it's because one of these guys forced us. It's because Kyler's like, come on. Or I know Jack fucking loves college ball.
Davison.
I don't give a shit. I'm a pros guy, dude.
Real cities love pro sports.
Big city.
Real big cities like pro sports.
Yeah. What's going on in May 21st, 2009? Number one movie, Terminator Salvation. I never saw this.
Yeah, it was weird. It was it was like almost too sci-fi for me.
Really?
Yeah, like I love Terminator 2.
Yeah, T2 rules.
T2 was the best.
Robert Patrick is a badass villain. Schwarzenegger is now the good guy. Is kind of fun.
Yeah, it was kind of like in wrestling when Hulk went to the bad guys and then the good guy. You know what I mean?
You're right. Yeah, the heel switch.
Heel switch.
But the other way around.
But the other way
Schwarzenegger
around.
became good. Yeah. T2 is awesome. This is the one with Christian Bale, isn't it?
Yeah. And you want it to be good because I love Christian Bale as an actor.
One
He's
of the best.
top 5.
Is he your top? Yeah, I think that's for this generation. It's debatable. I think you got to.
He's not a top 5.
For range. He's
The
got to
guy's
be.
he's been there for everything. Started out. What was that one movie where he?
Newsies.
Remember when he was a kid?
Empire
in
of the Sun.
Empire of the Sun.
Newsies though, he's singing, dude. So that you got to. We're giving range points.
He's
You gotta give-
Batman.
I think he's the best Bruce Wayne.
Best by far. Not even
Psycho.
close. And I'm a Keaton guy. He's a Kent State alum.
Is he?
He went to Kent State. Him
Love
and Drew
Michael
Carey.
Keaton. Well, dude, fucking Christian Bale, American Psycho. He's amazing. I didn't know he was British when I saw that movie.
Good.
I still don't know he's British.
The fighter?
The Fighter.
The fighter.
Yeah, we're talking range. You got to put him in that conversation.
This was also the movie where Christian Bale had the legendary on-set rant. He yelled at the
meltdown.
cinematographer for walking through during a scene. You're an
Great
amateur.
actor, not a
You're
good
an
person.
amateur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd he say?
You're an amateur.
An
You're an
amateur?
amateur. Yeah, because the guy was walking around.
Hey, man. I mean, we're talking about greatness.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of Devontae with the Raiders.
Oh,
When the guy goes on the through the tunnel, he pushes him. Sometimes you got to get out of the way of the artists when they're working.
It feels like Christian Bale is such an artist type actor that you feel like this is clearly one he did for the money.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing like, other movies for the art. He's doing The Machinist for the art. But then he gets this one. He's like, yeah, they're paying me a lot of money.
payday.
So he's probably already cranky to be there.
Is he a method actor?
He is, I think,
So
isn't
did he
he?
have to
Yeah, full-
feel like maybe he was in Terminator mode?
Maybe he was.
Maybe he was in Terminator
Was
mode.
he playing a dick in the movie?
Oh, he's
I mean, yeah.
John Connor's like son. Or he's John Connor. He's the kid in D2 grown up. That's what he is, I think. I tried to watch it.
Into this real quick.
I think he's the kid in 2 that was on the dirt bike all the time and that Arnold was protecting.
Furlong?
Yeah. I think when he grows up, that's who he is.
Oh, man. Have you seen Ed Furlong grown up? He does not look like Christian Bale. That movie is a best case scenario, even if it's end of the world vibes.
Boom, boom, pow.
Oh,
by the
Black Eyed
Peas.
That
Number
was
one
number
song?
one song? Yeah.
Which one is that? Boom.
Boom, pow, boom, boom, pow. Remember Black Eyed Peas had Let's Get Retarded?
Can't say
that. That was like 10 years ago. And that was the number they're like, you can't say it anymore. I'm like, okay, but it was top 40. Like, they made a lot of money off that word.
Did you see Antonio Brown's post to the Arizona Cardinals?
What'd he say?
You can't say it.
Well, he said it. What is it?
It's like, what does it say?
Wasn't it like I'm starting a new team called like the Retardinals or something like that?
Retardinals?
And he did a Photoshop with it and all. I mean, it's a bad look.
Yeah.
I mean, day and age.
For Antonio Brown?
Yeah. Know the climate, buddy. Know the climate.
You know it's a bad look when we're saying it's a bad look for Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
That guy whipped it out in the tub. You're not supposed to. You can't whip your dick out in a public tub.
Did he?
Yeah, over there in Dubai.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I didn't hear this story.
You didn't see the video?
No.
He was like sitting in a tub or a big pool in Dubai. And just pulled it out, and then he jumped up and put his butt cheeks on this lady's head. He wasn't even with the lady. She was just some random lady in the pool.
Yeah.
What are we doing, buddy?
Yeah, that's not. You can't be doing that.
He's actually such a charming guy in person.
Yeah.
I like AB. He came over. We broke bread together. We only spent like 6 days together until, he was out of the building. But I thought he was such a charming guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think guys like that certainly have the ability to charm, but I don't think she was charmed by him at all.
No, probably.
That is CTE in full motion. You're lucky you got out, dude.
Thank God.
We don't want to see Julian Edelman whipping it out in a public pool. Thank God you got your shit together.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to see it personally, but I think it's a bad look to do that.
It's not a good look.
Yeah.
There's not a good. Glee premiered on Fox.
Glee. Yeah, that was big. Jane Lynch.
I didn't really watch it. I just remember
I watched it once on a flight and it was good. It's a good show. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I was a little too old.
That was like when like being gay was edgy. That's when they were like, oh my God, a gay show is like on TV. And you're like, yeah, it's not a big deal. But they were like, it is. It's on Fox.
Fox. Yeah. I just remember there was like, wasn't there a rapper dating one of the cast members and he kept on like referencing, yeah, my girlfriend works in Glee. What?
Yeah,
Big Sean. Yeah, Big Sean. He dated a Glee member.
Who'd he date?
Naya Rivera.
Yeah.
Yom's on fire today.
That kid died too. Remember the one from Glee?
That's
He
sad.
was like one of the main guys.
R.I.P.
Did he do, drugs?
Drugs? Drugs are bad.
Don't do drugs, dude.
So bad. Facebook launches Farmville.
Farmville was annoying.
I didn't play.
It was, I didn't play either, but like you'd always get those invites. Someone was like, what did you get points for inviting someone? It's like being a Jehovah's Witness. They're like trying to get you to recruit. I'm like, get the fuck off my page, dude. Do you get points for recruiting? Is there like a Farmville afterlife or something?
So what was the concept of the game? You just farm?
I think.
I remember a lot of guys in the locker room being on it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's farming for hipsters?
You'd be surprised that all these little like phone game. There was a phone game? Was it? Yeah. Phone games would be so hot in the locker room in between meetings. I remember Matthew Slater used to play this game a lot. All the time. I'm like,
it was cool.
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, yeah, just watering my crops. I'm like, we're in the training room.
It was like an adult Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
Remember the Tamagotchi?
Yeah.
That was like a good test to see if you'd be a shitty parent. Your friend would just have one die immediately. I'm like, that's the person who left their baby in a hot car later in life. The guy who couldn't handle a Tamagotchi for like a day. Good sign. Speaking of premature deaths, Michael Jackson died at age 50 here.
Yeah.
That was my news segue. Speaking of people who died before their time, Michael Jackson at 50. That was one of the more shocking celebrity deaths of our time.
Yeah. I mean, Michael Jackson was single-handedly probably the most famous person in the world.
Like one of the most beloved entertainers ever. And he died. What did he have? Like a heart attack from, what was it? Propofol? Was that what it was called?
Yeah, propofol was what he ingested. They said Conrad Murray was the doctor.
Ooh.
Who gave it to him and was charged with involuntary manslaughter in 2011.
Damn, I bet there was a lot of celebrities who were like, dude, I need a prescription. Like a lot of people probably saw that. He was probably like a celebrity doctor, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, he got his medical license revoked. But they said as of 2016, he's still visiting with some patients. So
he's still,
I guess he's just kind of doing it on
he's out of prison.
Yeah. He got out after 2 years on parole of his 4-year sentence.
I wonder if that's the dude in prison who like would get the hookup. He'd have a friend sneak in prescriptions and he's like, I got your shit, guys. Maybe he's like the popular guy in prison.
Like that was definitely his value. He didn't have to.
Do you ever have a doctor who would just hook it up for you?
No, they got really serious with that stuff ever since the Sean Payton incident where they broke in the whole Vicodin thing. Like you couldn't even have, they used to be able to store medicine at the facility. Like they have a huge like room full of it that would be locked and everything. But then once that all happened, you had to go get your prescriptions elsewhere. You couldn't get it out. Like they used to, on the planes on the way home from games, the trainers would just be like, who needs an Ambien? Who needs something? And that all went away.
Damn.
Real fast.
But you guys must have popped like Ambien. Like you must be exhausted at night. You know,
a lot of guys would do that. You know, obviously pain meds were huge for those guys.
Sure.
I was never a pain med guy though. It fucks up your shitting schedule.
Interesting.
It plugs you up, and if my routine's jacked up, like in the morning, I have my, 5 a.m., 5:20 dump. Go on. Like if I can't put, it fucks
first
me
thing
up
in the morning.
Yeah, first thing. 2 dumps before practice.
2
dumps before.
You got
practice.
a sweet metabolism, dude.
It was on like clockwork, buddy.
Oh man,
get that thing down. But yeah, the pain pills. Like when I'd have surgery, I'd get off of them and like as soon as I could because it just I didn't like the feel.
And also, it's probably bad to be on those because you don't know where you're hurting really.
No, that it wasn't anything to do with the pain relief that you got. It just was my shitting schedule.
It was just pooping.
I could not poop.
But you didn't. I mean, you must have needed them sometimes, right?
There was a couple games early on in my career where I would do it, but you could take Toradol. Toradol was it's an anti-inflammatory. Like it's like an Aleve times 1,000, which that did the job for me. I didn't want to feel oozy. I remember one time I had a prescription and I took a like a Vicodin. I had a bad back. I tackled Vince Young and when I was playing defense and I fucked up my back. This wasn't like skinny Vince Young. This was thick Vince Young.
This was Titans Vince
No,
Young?
this was Philly.
Philly.
Remember Philly Vince Young? Where he had his little time and I hit him square in like the middle part of him. So I didn't take him low enough where he'd flip over or high enough where he would go down. Hit him right in the middle and like my back like just jammed and I couldn't walk for like.
He was huge.
And the next week we played the Redskins and I took a Vicodin before the game and a Toradol and like pre-workout drink. And I remember going out and getting called for a punt return and looking and seeing 3 balls. I saw like 3 balls. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I almost muffed a punt. I was
3
like,
balls is too many for any occasion.
Yeah, I like to cap it at 2.
Let's keep it at 2.
Let's keep it at
That's
2.
That's brutal, dude.
Yeah. So.
Did you catch the ball?
Oh, I caught it, yeah, but I just didn't like that.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
But did you feel okay to play though?
Yeah,
you were just
you don't feel pain. I didn't feel pain, but
Did you feel like almost invincible when you were running with the ball because you didn't feel pain?
No. I mean, you always feel that way.
Yeah.
Whenever you have the ball in your hand, you always feel invincible.
Fuck yeah.
Until you jump up and get clobbered.
Yeah.
By like 5 guys.
You were that dude. You were that dude who would just get hit. You got hit a lot.
Especially when you're younger. When you're younger, you're young, dumb, full of cum, don't have many opportunities to have the ball in your hand. So every time you were trying to make a touchdown, second, third, fourth efforts, just getting lit up.
Yeah, but that was who you were, man.
I
always loved Jeremy Shockey and the Giants because he would do that shit, and I was like, that was his thing.
But that takes years off your career.
Oh, dude, he retired young.
Yeah.
I think he was a party animal too. I think once you start banging Tara Reid, your days are numbered. That's a bad sign.
Tom Brady got it though.
What?
Tom used to be with Tara Reid back in the day.
Yeah.
Really?
Before my time. I can neither conform nor can I deny.
All right.
Jules, you were going balls to the wall, letting Vince Young had it. But you recorded after the game as saying, with all these rules floating around in regards to hitting the quarterback, I wanted to hit him, but do it right. I just didn't want to get out of there and get a penalty of any kind.
Wow.
So you were thinking.
Hey.
Ahead of your time.
You know, I didn't want to have a penalty and then, you know, and get a hit on the quarterback and then all of a sudden see a little yellow Yankee and just trot over to the bench with Bill staring me down like he wanted to kill me because you extend a drive. By no means did I ever want that. No means.
Let's go to the NBA in 2009. The Lakers ended up winning it all. As we said, they beat the Magic 4-1. Kobe's first championship post-Shaq. This was big. You know, that one in Boston really hurt him because he grew up. Didn't he grow up a Lakers fan, Kobe?
Let me look.
I knew he, well, whatever. Regardless, he was Mr. Laker. So he knew what it meant to beat Boston.
That, I
And
mean,
what it meant to lose to Boston, too.
that was a tough one. And then he got his revenge in 2010. I used to go to that. I went to that game, those games. Remember they played again in 2010?
This was a crazy series. This was a crazy year because, yeah, they did. And that's when Kobe got them. But this was a crazy series because, or season, because the Cavs had the best record in the East. The Lakers had the best record in the West. The Cavs were 66-16. I believe this is the series they lost to the Magic where Delonte had sex with LeBron's mom.
Let me take a look.
We can double check, but I think it's.
I think that's pre.
Is it pre?
Is it?
Didn't LeBron go to the Heat in 2010?
Cleveland lost 4-2 to Orlando in this playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let me look up.
I think this was the Delonte West had sex with LeBron.
Implosion.
Rumor. Can't fuck the captain's mom.
That is something you definitely should not do.
You should not.
Especially if it's the generational talent player of the world.
Yeah. No one on the Patriots would have tried to fuck Tom Brady's mom.
No. First off, she's a sweetheart. Second off, I'm not getting anywhere near anything like that.
No, it's bad for the team. The MVP was LeBron that year. Wade was a leading scorer, and they teamed up the next year. The rookie of the year was a spry Derrick Rose.
Athletic.
He was unlike anything you'd seen at that point. A guy who could jump like that. And
he was kind of like Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
He had that same explosiveness.
He was better.
When Russell was cooking.
I mean, he was the youngest MVP of all time, too. I mean, he was unreal.
Had really good commercials with Adidas, too.
Yeah, he made Adidas look cool for sure.
Remember he would do the jog outside of, because he was from Chicago, right?
He was from Chicago and he played for the Bulls.
Yeah.
It was kind of like an incredible story.
It was unbelievable.
It doesn't happen often.
Man, it sucks that injuries.
He's had, you know what though?
Down.
Give him credit. He's had an amazing second half of just staying around because he's been good the last few years. But yeah, I mean, he could have been. He's like, if there's one NBA player who I wish never had an injury, it's probably Rose. I mean, Grant Hill and Penny are in the convo too, but
before games, I would listen to like these mashups of like inspirational speaking, and there's like one of Derrick Rose saying like, "Why can't I be MVP? Why can't I go play for like my hometown?" Like, and I would listen to him. He'd fire me up. So,
damn.
Shout out Derrick Rose.
He was so soft spoken too.
Yeah, he was a good pro.
Around the league, this was the first season of the Oklahoma City Thunder. They had a young KD in Westbrook, and the good people of Seattle were deprived of an awesome young team. Maybe KD doesn't leave if he's in a city like Seattle.
Good fish.
Good fish. And Seattle's a good city.
It's just always cloudy.
It's depressing.
It's a little, I mean, that's where grunge was invented. So,
yeah.
You know, those people aren't, let's just say, the most happy people.
Weird vibes. You got grunge, then you got Frasier. It's a weird combo, right? That's Seattle. But 2009, what were we doing? I was in college still. I guess, Julian, you had just been drafted by New England.
I just got drafted to New England. I was like in a whole different world.
Yeah.
Just changing positions, changing sceneries, being the big man on campus to a slapdick rookie for the New England Patriots, which were like the benchmark of that generation.
How pumped were you to be going to New England? A team
So pumped.
that was like legit.
Bro, I was so fired up. Like I was having epiphanies that, Wes Welker and me in the slot, Randy Moss on the outside, Joey Galloway, Maroney in the backfield, and it didn't go like that at all. I rode the pine and became a special teamer for like a few years. And
But you played your way in, man.
play your way in. Yeah,
Older, that must have been older Joey Galloway, right?
old Joey Galloway. Still could run though.
Oh, dude, I remember Cowboys Joey Galloway, Rakeem Ishmael.
Yeah.
Those were some good receivers.
Ishmael, speed. They had they said he ran like a 4.2. Like there was like old folklore that he ran like 4.1 at the Ohio State Pro Day, and he was like almost 40 and still running like 4.4.
Damn.
It was fun, but
yeah, but that's a stacked receiving team to join.
it was. That's why I didn't think I was going to make the team, and that's why I had to, make myself versatile enough where I could give enough value to the team to not cut me. Return punts, cover kicks, and be a good viable backup. So it was definitely a crazy time in my life, as far as just being hit with just where am I?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Finally getting to have your name called in the draft. And
you're wearing a Patriots jersey. I mean, putting that on the first time must have been amazing.
I used to just stay in the locker room till like 10:30, 11, and just marvel at my helmet and my jersey, and the fact that we got like free Gatorades and stuff. Kent State, we didn't have the budget, let's just say, of an NFL football team and be at the facilities. It was a cool year. It was a cool year.
Who was the first of those receiving guys who was the coolest to you?
Sam Aiken. Those guys like Randy and Wes and Joe, those guys were like the stars, and I was kind of a kid who's, I didn't even know how to get into a receiver stance, bro.
Yeah.
And, but Sam Aikens, he was a receiver that was, special teams captain, and he was kind of like a older brother figure that like put his arm around me and knew that I was all over the place mentally, because that they're evaluating you every day and stuff. You have a bad practice, you think you're getting cut, and Sam Aiken
get your dream, and you're like, I could lose this
in a second. That was a thing. You get drafted, you hear your name, and then you go to rookie camp and you see that there's 90 guys and they're only going to keep 53. You start playing numbers game. Am I going to be here?
And how many of them were the best dude on their college team?
Everyone.
Everyone
was the best in their college, everyone was the best football player around.
Yeah.
But it was a great start. That was the start of it, man.
Awesome. Well, let's get into this game. The Denver Nuggets head coach George Karl, as we said, 54-28, franchise's best record since, is that 1987? Damn.
Wow.
Who was on that 87 team? Was that like Alex English? Those old jerseys were fucking nice. Those were like those blue and yellow.
The rainbow and
the rainbow.
Let me see that, baby.
Yeah, pull those up. Pull up the Alex English Nuggets jerseys, the blue ones. Yeah, those are sweet.
Yeah, Alex English was on this team.
He was the #1 scorer of the 1980s in the NBA. People sleep on that dude.
Sam.
I'm a fucking hoops junkie.
You're
dude.
a hoops historian. You're HH.
I love it, dude. All right. So they were the #2 seed in the West behind the Lakers, I believe. This is when they shipped Marcus Camby to the Clippers before the season. Camby was a DPOY. That guy was a fucking killer. And as a Knick, was one of my favorite players. I love Marcus Camby. They sent Iverson to Detroit for Chauncey Billups, Antonio McDyess. I mean, Billups was the glue for this. He was the missing piece on this team, because Iverson was great, but he was a little past his prime. He was too similar to Carmelo,
They're both scorers, When you have two major scorers, you need someone to be able to delegate, and that's what Chauncey did.
He delegated. He was a floor general. He was a
Good
pace
defense.
general. Such a good defender, yeah. They had Melo, Nene, who, if you go to a Fogo Chow, the Brazilian steakhouse, you might see a Nene jersey. The one in New York has one, I know.
Brazilian's finest.
Brazilian's finest, dude. Right after the pussy wax. It's him and the vagina waxing. That's their claims to fame. Dante Jones, Duke. Chauncey, Kmart. Coming off the bench, they had my guy J.R. Smith, ex-Nick, 6th Man of the Year, was great. Birdman. Who didn't love Birdman?
He was a fun character.
He was
Tattoos.
so fun. Wrongfully accused of child pornography. Acquitted.
Yeah.
You don't hear that often.
That's a sinking ship.
I think he was the first to get catfished. There's a huge catfish story about him, right? Wasn't that what that was about? Something like
What
that.
did he get?
Let me look into that.
Look into the catfish. He definitely got accused. That's something you don't want to be accused of, innocent or guilty. But if you're guilty, you do deserve it. But he wasn't. This is a fun team, great tattoo team. They all were tatted up. Mello and Kmart had the headbands, the sleeves.
Swag team.
Yeah,
they were swaggy.
They beat New Orleans 4-1 to get to the Western Conference Finals after beating Dallas. They beat Dallas. It was a good Dallas team they beat. Dirk. Yeah.
And the Lakers head coach, Phil Jackson, record 65-17. Really good year.
Killer.
Coming off a year where they lost to the Celtics in the NBA Finals. Andrew Bynum was back healthy. There was high hopes for this team, expected to be a title contender. Top seed of the West, had the best record of the West all season. Their starters were Kobe, Andrew Bynum, Derek Fisher, Trevor, how do you say his last name?
Ariza.
He was lighting it up too in this game.
He was lighting it up, dude. Knicks traded him for a washed up Steve Francis, and that was like a heartbreaker because we all were like, oh shit, Ariza's like a good defender. He can, in this game, you see he can shoot the three, and he's athletic still.
He dunked on someone too.
He posterized.
And they had Pau Gasol.
Yeah, Hall of Famer. I mean,
very good,
phenomenal.
Very good basketball player. This season would mark the Lakers' 30th NBA final appearance. That's crazy.
So
30
annoying.
30 finals appearances.
Ingrate fan base too. Just a bunch of fucking ingrates. But they do have cool fans. I mean, the stars were out tonight. Jack Nicholson was there, McEnroe, Tom Cruise, Will Ferrell, John Cena. Lovely. Nicholson was sitting next to his boy Robert Towne, his former roommate, the guy who wrote Chinatown. Love seeing them together. That's what
the Lakers need. They need to get Jack back.
He's too old to put up with this horse shit.
How old is he now?
He's got to be 85 or 84. He doesn't want to sit through this, whatever this team is.
85.
85.
Yeah. Nicholson, maybe.
Here's Johnny.
Maybe the coolest movie star in American history.
Really?
He's up there.
Gotta be.
He's so cool.
He's cool. He's funny. Charming.
He's the best. Yeah, this was a good Jersey matchup too. Those powder blues versus the classic Laker yellows. Denver ended the first half on a 14-2 run. Billups had that sick inbounds pass off Kobe's butt. Throws it off his butt, grabs it.
Savvy play.
Love that shit. And this was kind of, as we said, the Trevor Ariza game. He dropped 20, he played amazing D. The series, the Lakers win 105-103. Melo had 39, but Kobe had 40. That matchup was prime Melo versus prime Kobe.
That's such a Kobe thing, too. You got 39. I'm getting 40.
So true. Game 2, the Nuggets won 106-103. Game 2, rather. Game 3, the Lakers win 103-97. Game 4, the Nuggets win. It was a 2-2 series. The Lakers won Game 5 and Game 6.
Oof.
The storylines were Kobe versus Melo. Could the Nuggets get over the hump? And, Denver broke a record streak with their Game 2 win, their first playoff win against the Lakers since 1985. And coming to the Western Conference Finals, Melo is balling out. He gets a lot of shit for not being like a playoff performer. When you put a team around him, he was pretty damn scary.
He could not score.
It was unreal.
Just watching him shoot threes, mid-range. He could take it to the rim. He was everything, man. It was a fun matchup to watch because Kobe being, what was his 8th year in the league at this time, goes
how
in.
Long was he? No, 13, maybe.
Wait, was this 2009? Oh, I think it was 2006.
Yeah. He'd been there a minute.
He's been there a minute, and then you got the young gun. What was Melo in his 3rd season, 3rd, 4th, 5th?
He was young.
He was young. He was in his prime. This was his prime. This was Kobe. Kobe's prime was just so long, but
yeah, you're right. That's what we forget about. That Kobe had he had rivalries with guys like Iverson and T-Mac, and then he had rivalries with LeBron and Melo in the next generation. So it's a testament to Kobe's longevity.
This is a Kobe podcast. We just talk about Kobe all the time.
But you know what? It's hard not to get caught in a Kobe like rabbit hole. Like I'll be on Instagram and I just can't not watch his clips. And there's so many tributes, and he was incredible.
Generational player. I mean, he's one of the GOATs.
And all the young guys revere him. You see the way Tatum talks about him, the way Devin Booker talks about him. Like he was that dude. Dwayne Wade talks about him. All of them.
Mentality, Mamba mentality, baby. And let's get to the gaming corner presented by WynnBET. What's the prop bet going to be on this one? How many times we can say K-Mat?
K-Mat?
Kmart?
Yeah, it's got to be something.
How many times we can say
better.
Kmart?
What can we do?
Think here.
Nah. You'll have the insides of this one.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I mean, I remember when they beat the Knicks, they swept the Knicks, and I had to quit smoking weed. I had like 2 really bad basketball-related highs. One was when USA lost to Puerto Rico, and the other one was when, fucking Carlos Arroyo couldn't miss a fucking shot. USA lost, and then the Knicks got swept, and Kmart lit us up. Jason Kidd and Kmart just throwing alley-oops all day. Kmart in his prime was a fucking gazelle, dude.
He could jump.
He could jump out of the fucking arena. What is the Kmart?
How many times we could say Rocky Mountain High? Did you ever get Rocky Mountain High?
Yeah, the altitude. You get drunk in that city quickly. 2 or 3 beers in Denver, you feel that shit.
Yeah. I don't think I've really gone out in Denver like that.
Great city. All right, we got to think of a good one.
J.R. Smith, maybe.
Yeah. How many times, remember when J.R. Smith DM'd a girl and it got screenshot and he just wrote to her, "You trying to get the pipe?" And that became Knicks shirts. Knicks fans will wear shirts saying, "You trying to get the pipe?" Let's see how many times we can ask him if he's ever talked to JR about trying to get the pipe.
I like it. What do we think? How many times?
I mean, you can only ask him maybe twice.
1-5.
1-5 it is.
All right.
We got to find something, but all right. We're going to be joined by Kenyon Martin after this break. Name a sport.
Basketball.
What? Now go bet on it with WynnBET.
Wow.
WynnBET is the latest, greatest app at the App Store. And if you join us today and use the promo code XGWN, when you bet $25, you're going to get $50. That's free money. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at wynnbet.com. Must be 21 or older to participate.
Well, Kenyon, thanks so much for joining us, man. This is it's a privilege to have you on. I'm a Knicks fan, so that year you gave us meant a lot to me. Great career, New Jersey Nets. At the end, he was with the Clippers and the Bucks, but we're talking about the Nuggets today, which was, I think, one of the all-time cool NBA teams. And we had Melo, Billups, JR, Birdman, just a fun group of guys. This is right after you guys lost Camby. But, obviously a Cincinnati Bearcat great. Your numbers hang in the rafters at UC. And thanks for joining us today, man.
No problem, man. Appreciate you having me on, man.
What are you doing these days? Post-retirement?
Post-retirement, man. Family stuff mostly, man. I'm a father of 6, from 21 to 4. Keeping me busy in that regard. Business things, man. Just staying out of harm's way for the most part. Just enjoying, but most importantly, enjoying retirement. That's the most important thing, man. Just love not having mandatory things to do besides be a dad. So I'm feeling that.
Well, that's not mandatory either. There's a lot of deadbeats out there. But it's
good.
It's good you're
definitely
doing
a lot of deadbeats out there. But I try definitely not to fall in that category.
No, I mean, just the way you play, there's not a chance you could be a deadbeat. You were a badass on the court. It's funny I saw you take a hit from that pen earlier, because I think you're a big reason I had to quit smoking pot, because I had a really bad high when you guys swept the Knicks. I think you injured Tim Thomas, and I was like, I can't handle weed.
That's the narrative out there. It wasn't me. It was Jason Collins. Listen, let's get it straight. Like, I ain't ratting, but we can go look at the film. It wasn't me, but I got called out, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but definitely swept them. in Game 4, I put foot to ass in Game 4 in the Garden.
It hurt, and I remember Tim Thomas was like, "I want to box Kenyon Martin," and even as a Knicks fan, I was like, "Dude, do not challenge Kenyon Martin to a fight. That is not going to end well."
Yeah, man. All that boxing. Listen, man. We was there to play basketball, man, and it got taken to a point that hey, listen, whatever, man. Hey.
I got a question. Did you ever hurt your goddamn shoulder after dunking on someone and giving one of the arm things in midair? You used to get so fired up.
Now, though. I'm paying for it now.
Yeah.
Like both of them jacked up. Like I think I need to go see somebody. But yeah, and I don't know what made me start swinging off of it, man. I just enthusiasm. Like I guess it's the same as I'm saying you scoring and then spiking the ball, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So I guess that's I'm saying the equivalent. Like I guess it's one of them, man. And then it got to a point to where I got really good at it. And I started timing the ball coming out the net. Like when I dunk it, I start timing and I could hit the ball come out the net. So I started, so it was. And then I started doing some ignorant stuff. I started trying to hit the ref with the ball because I like certain refs. But yeah.
You were such a tough guy. I mean, it was undeniable that you backed it up. Are you one of those guys that looks at the modern guys, no matter who they are, as soft? Or are there guys right now that you're like, he's a tough guy? Is Draymond a tough guy?
Draymond plays hard. In this NBA, Draymond is considered a tough guy. Yes, absolutely.
In your NBA, he's not?
Like, not necessarily. Draymond plays hard as he can possibly play all the time. And sometimes that get misconstrued as you being a tough guy or a dirty player or something like in that regard. But in my opinion, like, tough guy, I ain't saying you had to necessarily get in a fight on floor in game, but that was part of it. Like for the world to see you fight somebody like that put that image in people's head, and not just hearing about it, but when you see it, you know what I'm saying, like they give people that notion, like, man, yeah, he'll take it right there with you. So I look at guys in that regard, like, and there was a lot of them guys in the 80s and early 90s.
Oakley would fight you. Oakley's a dude I'm like, I don't think anyone wanted a piece of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like. I'm glad me and Oak never, like, we wasn't around at the same time.
Who were dudes that
like,
were there any dudes? Oh, sorry. Were there any dudes that you were like?
No, not at all.
Not
at all.
No one intimidated you.
No.
Now, did this mentality?
No point.
Where did this mentality come from? Did it come from Bob Huggins in UC over at the Natty?
Oh, no.
This is just where you grew up with.
Cincinnati at 18. Yeah, I just Oak Cliff, Texas, man.
Oak Cliff, Texas.
Like, this is Oak Cliff, Texas. Don't ask anybody around Dallas where Oak Cliff is, man. It's like Dennis Rodman went to Oak Cliff High. Like, that's South Oak Cliff High is where he went to high school. I'm from pretty much the same area as Dennis is from. We grew up a little different. Dennis' path was a little different. A lot of guys that's from Dallas, but not a lot of guys that's from Dallas that play in the NBA are from Oak Cliff, like where I'm from.
Yeah.
So I took mine to Cincinnati with me. Like I had a fight. With the starting center on the team my freshman year. I'm a freshman here, senior. Like, I put hands on in my freshman year. So it wasn't like, I brought mine with me. It wasn't I wasn't backing down from nobody. No, I wasn't backing down from nobody.
Is anyone in today's NBA a tough guy to you or no?
You have guys that play hard. Like, people think Jimmy Butler is a tough guy because Jimmy plays extremely hard. Like, there's a few guys like the Morris twins people look at as probably tough guys. Outside of them two, Is James Johnson still around? The guy
Oh,
that
yeah.
jujitsu?
Yeah, he'll fuck shit up.
Yeah, he won't. Yeah, he want issues. Like he want fucking problems with people. Like and like you can't have issues and know that shit and want problems. Like it just don't. Like you looking to go cause problem with people. Like other than them three guys, nah.
Who do you like watching now? Who are players that you enjoy?
Giannis. I like watching Giannis play, man. I like Steph Curry. I like Golden State's team. I love watching them play. Outside of my own child, like I'm a big time KJ fan. Like I like watching KJ play basketball. I'm biased, but I like watching him play. I like Jimmy Butler. I like the way he approached the game. I like a few dudes' skill set. Like I think a few dudes are really, really good. I think Jokic is really good. I think Jamal Murray is really good. I think Kawhi and Paul George are really talented. I like Chris Middleton. I like his growth and development because I was there. I was around him early. I like those guys. Yeah, it's not a. I don't watch a whole lot of teams play because I can only stand to watch very minimal bad basketball, and I'm forced to, and by default, I'm forced to watch the Houston Rockets play. So that's my bad. That's enough fucking bad basketball to last me a lifetime. So I have to watch them. But nah, yeah, man. I just like watching guys who do it the right way, who play the game the right way, man. That's why I love watching the Golden State Warriors play, man, because they play the game the right way.
Well, your son is on a rebuilding team in Houston. You come into the league, you're on a good team already. Like, I mean, what's the differences? I mean, you're playing with Jason Kidd as a baby, right?
Well, yes and no. Like my rookie year, we won 26 games my rookie year. Jay Kidd wasn't there. I had
Steph, and you got Kidd the next year.
So we won 26 games, traded for Steph. The next year we won 52. So when Jay Kidd came, I was 23 years old.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I was a grown man basically. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, I got a quick question that you just talked about. You grew up in Oak Cliff, Texas. I actually, when I was 12 years old, I played a Super Bowl in Florida against Oak Cliff, Texas Redskins. Did you ever play football growing up? Because that was a good football area.
Yeah, with the Redskins and the Comets. I played for the Cedar Crest Comets, and the Redskins were absolutely. So I played up to my sophomore year.
Dude, I always watch you taking these alley-oops and just dunking on fools, and I just think to myself, you could have been an unbelievable tight end or a receiver, red area target. Just throw it up.
I played tight end up to my sophomore year in high school, man. My last year playing football was my sophomore year in high school.
See, that's why he was so tough and hard, because he played football. You had that football in your bloodline. When you grow up in Texas,
all the way up.
They love that stuff, man.
You have to. You have to, man. Like I broke my wrist when I was 12 playing football. Like stiff arm the guy tried to break my fall. He pushed me. I was trying to all that. Yeah, nah. My sophomore year, I ran a 4.6 40, man.
Damn.
Like I was 6'7". I ran a 4.6 40. So I was I catch everything, like tough, like play defensive end on defense. Jesus. Like
I couldn't imagine trying to block him.
He is a fast defensive end.
Now, take us back to 2009 when you're with the Nuggets. What was your life like in 2009 at the beginning of the season before everything goes down? You guys make it to the playoffs and play what you guys did. What was going on? Could you guys feel you guys had a team that was going to be able to contend?
Yeah, I think so, man. I really think so. I think just us having Chauncey there, man, and him settling things for us.
What was that Iverson trade like? Were you guys bummed to see Allen go? Were you pumped to get Chauncey? What was the vibe?
Yeah, no, we were. When AI was there, it was probably some of the funnest times I had as a pro, on and off the floor. But having him and Melo, it wasn't gonna work basketball wise, and with the coach that we had, so it was multi-layered.
What's some of that fun off the court you guys had?
It was like the Beatles on the fucking road, man. Like, because we all had like our own following, of course. But I was watching Dion's 60 Minutes interview, and the coach and somebody asked him, "I've been around stars before, but I ain't never been around a superstar. Like, we were stars. He a superstar, like AI superstar, like he a rock star. So having that kind of a following, man, and we out there winning, and just some of the late night card games and plane rides and going to gambling in the casino with him, and just seeing the love that he get.
What was
everybody?
What was the casino like with Iverson? What's his game? What are you guys playing together? Are the women circling the whole table?
No, he's playing big money. As we, like, I've seen him fluctuate, him be up like 150. I leave, go do something, come back, he down 200. Then get back, he up 100. So he playing blackjack, man, and he playing big hands, like big hands, and playing two hands as well, man. Like, yeah, yeah. But our card games on the plane were like legendary. Like, not to them numbers at times, but the consistency of it being $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 pots, $50,000 pots. Like, it's regular. Like, and you had to have a certain amount of money to get on the plane to play.
Are there certain guys that are trying to play with you guys? You're like, dude, you're on a 10-day contract. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah, no, we won't let you play. No, certain guys. No, if we think you're trying to quick lick us, or you trying to just come in for one flight, and no, if you play, you play.
Yeah,
there's no hitting and quitting.
You ain't none of that shit going on with us. Like, we ain't allowed none of that. Like, we the same 4 or 5 guys, like, them was our card buddies, and we knew like somebody might play for a little while, and if they start losing, if they had a bad 4-game road trip, and they might not play the 5th, like they might not play for a while. So we had a few guys that was like that, and we knew that about them. But for the most part, no, we wasn't letting just anybody play.
Now, was it liar's poker? That's what we used to play a lot of.
Oh, we played bourrée.
Bourrée. A lot of people play bourrée.
Like some teams, they play guts and shit like that, but I don't like guts. Ain't no thinking to it. Ain't no thought process to guts.
Any tonk?
Early on, my Nets days, we played tonk with Rod Thorne.
Yeah,
like Rod Thorne's the present GM, so Rod played with us, man. That was a great experience early, having him, like getting to know him, getting to know his competitive nature as a front office guy.
Yeah,
like that was dope.
Now,
like, having him there, that was dope. But no, I'm saying throughout my Denver days, my Knick days, Clippers, we played bourrée.
Bourrée. All right, so let's get back into the Denver Nuggets. You guys get Chauncey. The year before, you get what? You get swept by the Lakers, and then all of a sudden, Melo's like, "I want to guard Kobe." What were your thoughts going into that?
Nah, hey, let him do it. Hey, it's a collective effort, man. It ain't just gonna be one guy. Like, we all know that. Like, we've been there. We know what Bean was capable of doing. So it's like, okay, Melo gonna have his turn. I'm gonna get some. JR gonna get some. Dante gonna get some. Chauncey gonna get some. Like, we always, and gonna do the best job we possibly can do. You know what I'm saying? Make each each possession tough. Like I'm all about making each possession tough as possible, man, no matter what it is. And now we're going up against greatness. So and then we knew that, and we knew his competitive nature, man. So we just trying to meet that.
Was he the greatest you ever went against, do you think? I mean, you went against a lot of amazing assignments. I mean, you guarded Tim Duncan, you went against Kobe. I mean, who was the hardest?
Yeah, I think Kobe and Tim Duncan are arguably in anybody's top 5 NBA players of all time. Like,
yeah, at least
they
top
would have
10.
to be. So
yeah,
definitely top 10, but a lot of people top 5. So yeah, no, just knowing what he is and knowing what he is about brings the best out of you. It brings the best out of your competitive nature, bring the best out of your game. And going against Tim Duncan as well, man. I think Tim Duncan made me get better. Made me become a better basketball player. Made me become a deeper thinker when it comes to the game. Him and Kobe, but most of my matchups with Tim, I had to I had to dig deep in my thought process. I'm saying in my thought bag to try to how to riddle how to figure that out because he couldn't. He always played at the same speed. So yeah, but them guys, man, like I'm saying, they brought it out of us. But at 0809, man, we made it to the Western Conference Finals. We had a chance, man. Like we had a chance. Like we had a chance to get them boys.
Did that narrative of that the Nuggets couldn't beat the Lakers in the playoffs, did that seep into the locker room at all, or did you guys say fuck that? We're gonna do this?
Well, we never talked about it as a group. I don't know if some guys paid attention to it, but I didn't fear nobody, man. Like they had our number for a little while, but we were in a position to get them. So it wasn't no. If anybody had that thought process that we can't beat this team, then I don't want you around. You know what I'm saying? But we knew we had what we had in the locker room. We knew what we was gonna be, man, and it was special. It was special.
Who was talking to you during this game? Like, did any players get in your ear? Was Melo vocal? Was Chauncey kind of an emotional leader? Were you leading people? Like, was anyone kind of keeping the morale up? Because this is a team with a chip on its shoulder. This Lakers team coming off losing to Boston in the finals. You know how much Kobe wants this. Who was the motivator in the locker room?
I always did. I've always been that kind of a basketball player on the bench in the locker room. I've always been that guy to where I'm going to voice whatever negative or positive. I'm all in, and having a voice like Chauncey there was very. I'm saying helpful, relaxing because he's been there. You know, for a lot of the guys that hadn't been on that stage yet.
And he beat Kobe.
Yeah, so for me and him, yeah, and they beat the Lakers already, so he knew how to go about it. You know, it just experience with some guys, bad situational basketball by us, bad coaching. It was there's enough blame to go around.
Did you hate playing for George Karl? Because I've heard you say that before.
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't stand it, man. Like I just bad, just coaching one aspect of the game, man, doesn't make you a great basketball coach. He has a lot of wins. He's been blessed with talent over the years, but no, I'm not a big George Karl fan, not at all.
Was that tough playing for a guy? I mean, you see Phil Jackson on the other end. You're like, this guy's considered one of the great coaches ever. Was it just you who felt this way, or do you think all the guys were like, this guy sucks?
Yeah, a lot of guys felt that way, but ain't nobody gonna say it. Ain't nobody gonna challenge him. You know what I'm saying, but yeah, certain guys that would, and certain like this, I think we made it as far as we did because of Chauncey. Like in situational basketball, Chauncey told George, "I got this." Like, so basically, sit your ass down, like, and don't fuck this up. Like I got this. Like that's who Big Shot was. Like that's just who he was. Like he had earned that right to win those moments and big moments, close games and all that. Like you don't need to coach this right now. I got this. The only thing we need you to do up during timeouts is draw up a play. Like everything else, I got. So and then that was the like he like I said, he calmed things down and he knew when to get other guys involved, when to get his shot, when we need to lean on Melo. If Melo had it going, distribute the ball, he gonna get his. So that was part of being a leader. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got as far as we did, man, because we had him.
Now you guys are playing in Staples. You guys are battling. You guys pretty much hold Kobe pretty well throughout the game. What's it feel like to play in the Staples Center, play the villain, and win this game? Like, did you guys going into this? You guys are like, hey, what was the series at?
I think you were down 2-1.
2-1.
It was 1-0. Sorry.
1-0.
Well, also to go along with Julian saying,
Like
Nicholson, Jack Nicholson's there, Tom Cruise is there. All these. Do you look over and is a part of you like, fuck you, Nicholson?
Nah.
I'm about to throw it down.
No, it's however many people it seat. If you ain't cheering for us, then it's fuck everybody, man. Like that's the way we approach it. And that's damn sure the way I approached it. Like I want to shut everybody up. Like, and we had a lot of guys that had that same thought process, man. Like we want to shut y'all up in here.
I love that.
We knew we had a shot. Like,
that was one of my favorite things, being the villain.
Yeah.
When you go out,
absolutely,
the crowd's going crazy. It's 3rd and fucking 10. You get a 14-yard completion. The silence the whole stadium. You know that's what you live for as an athlete. If you're a real tough guy, right?
Oh, that's what you used to do. You know, that's what. Hey, that was your thing. Hey, them big 3rd down completions and big red zone catches and plays and end arounds and all that. Like, yeah, I'm with you. And then they might let you go out there and throw you one. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so, hey.
I had to campaign for that for fucking 8 years before Bill let me do it. It was fucking bullshit. I'm with you. I'm against my coach too.
hey, he told you, hey, we bought you here to fucking catch passes. We got a pass thrower, goddammit. Listen, I'll let you know if I need your services.
That's exactly what he said. You guys win the game, but you lose the series. Is there anything that you wish you guys would have done differently in 2009 to keep that bad boy going?
Yeah, man, it's 2 out of bounds plays, man. Like 2 out of bounds plays. Yeah, we should have had the wherewithal to run something different because it happened the first game. We threw it away. Anthony Carter threw it away because they took our side out of bounds play away. Had a bad turnover in that instance. Next game, I think I threw it away in the same situation or a similar situation because they knew like our side out of bounds was horseshit.
Situational basketball. It'll win you or lose you.
Yeah, again. Time score situation. Y'all know it. I'm saying you know it, Jules. It's y'all 2 minute. I'm saying so you got a 4-minute drill, you got a 2-minute drill, you got no timeouts, 1 timeout, all that shit. You know how it is.
So you played with Melo here in the Nuggets. You played with him again on the Knicks. That was a really fun Knicks team. Yeah. You know, I remember when they signed you, I was like, "Holy shit, Kmart can still jump. He can still get blocks. Like you still totally had it." And did you have a good relationship with Carmelo? You felt?
Yeah, that's my youngin', man. Like I came in. Melo was in his 2nd year. I'm saying he was still a kid. So yeah, we always had a dope relationship. Did a lot of winning together, man. We kicked a lot of ass together, a few heartaches together. You know what I'm saying? So we know what it is. I'm saying I think we did some special things, man. I witnessed greatness right in front of me. One of the purest scores of the basketball that I've ever seen, man. Score effortless. I seen him grow up right before my very eyes. I seen him become a man. Seen him go on New York, try to do things there. Was able to join him over there. I look at Melo in a different light than a lot of people. Like a lot of people look at Melo as selfish. A lot of people look at him as not a winner. A lot of people look at him and all like different various things. Hint to why he probably don't have a job right now.
A lot of people, the outside don't know the inside, though. That's outside noise. But how cool is it?
Yeah.
You know,
Can I ask you to go along with that? Because I think that's really interesting. I mean, do you think that Russell Westbrook is getting kind of an unfair treatment right now? Because I feel like he's been the butt of every negative comment with the Lakers. Meanwhile, their front office has done a dog shit job.
Who in their right mind thought hiring Rob Pelinka was a good fucking decision in the first place? Just be honest, man. The man was an agent. Like that shit is wild to me. Like, just because you can go and get a guy to sign with you as an agent don't necessarily mean you can put a fucking team together, man.
Does it make you mad? The criticism that Russell's getting right now as a former player, or are you kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah, no, I think it's a crock of shit, to be honest with you. It's just like just the social media aspect of it. But Russ doesn't make it easy on people going out there and going 0 for 11 and shit like that. Like, he don't make it easy.
True.
Well, hard on them. Well, he don't make it hard on them, rather. I'm saying he don't make it hard on. He makes it easy for them to have ammunition at times. But it's just like, it's that pile on shit, man, and which is unfortunate for what he's done for the game. He's first ballot Hall of Famer, man. Like, how can, like, we go through things as athletes? Like, you have ups, you have downs, you have good games, you have bad games. Like, and the people who criticize couldn't do a percent of what this man has accomplished.
Yeah, that's why I keep my mouth fucking shut, because I could not do any of it.
And he does a good job at basically saying fuck him, like, because it definitely probably when it's affecting your family, it's going to affect you, because he can't tell me that it's not affecting him, because it's affecting his family. So he has to hear when he get home. His wife has to deal with it. His kids has to deal with it. It's unfortunate in that regard, because in sports it shouldn't translate to your home life in that regard. But it's unfortunate in that regard. But the sport, man, I think he'll bounce out of it, whether it's with the Lakers or if they make a move or whatever. He loves to compete, man. So I think he'll get the last laugh.
How's J.R. Smith as a teammate?
JR's cool, man. I understand my teammates, man. I understand who they are. I understand what they're about. I don't put too much on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the mind my business kind of a teammate. If I fool with you, I fool with you. We can go out, we can hang out, but I'm a mind my business kind of a guy.
Yeah.
If it don't affect me directly, I ain't got nothing to do with it. But nah, I understood JR. Like, I was shockingly surprised how actually good JR was at basketball. I thought he was just an athlete. When I got on the team, I thought he was just an athlete. Like, that boy can listen. When I'm like, yo, he can fucking play.
Yeah.
Like, some of the shit he used to do in practice, or he used to put on exhibitions in practice. like scoring exhibitions in practice. All right. So yeah, he was a well-rounded, he was a better basketball player than I thought before he got with us. But no, he definitely helped us, man, in a lot of ways. And I just keep going back to, like, I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse. If we had different coaching, if JR had different coaching, things be different.
Yeah. What's his popcorn story?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and coaching's.
Oh, listen, man. So, April Fools. As we know, we get 4 random drug tests in the league. Well, we used to. They test for everything. They test for weed. So it's documented that JR partakes in the, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm telling the people something they don't know. So I put guys' name. So I had the trainer put guys' name on the board saying it was a piss test, right? It's April. It's late in the season. Guys that's on their 3rd test, they about to think it's going to be their 4th. So I put guys' name on the board. I put like 6 names on the board. A few guys who I knew that smoked, guys I knew that didn't smoke. So just a mixture of guys. So they come in, see their name on the board, and they hype. The guys that partake, like, oh shit, got my 4th. So we go out for shoot around, come back, ain't no names on the board. It's April Fools on the board. Ha, 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 key. No harm, no foul. So I thought. So we got a game that night. I leave my car key in my locker. I don't play that night for the knee was probably bothering me or something. I don't suit up. I'm in a suit, so the game over. Team bring it in. I'm the first one out the locker room because I didn't play. I go get my car. I hit the lock. It don't unlock. I go open the door, popcorn and shit fall out. I leave the door open. I go right back in the building. I threaten everybody in the organization life. Y'all listen. I need to find out who did it. You on the clock. Damn it! Listen, there's a camera outside the locker room. I need to know who's in here during the game. So they saw who was in there during the game. They went and questioned him, and he spilled the fucking beans right away. Said who put him up? He said who put him up to was a ball boy. Like he said who put him up to it and all this. He paid him and did all this. So yeah. So I threatened his life, JR life, and everybody else.
Castle and Brady were getting into it with pranks one year, and they did the same thing. I think that's what makes the team though. Like you got to have some of that bullshit prank shit. Of course, you were probably pissed because
but some people, but you know, I wasn't that kind of a key guy. Okay, the April Fool's thing, the names on the board, that's one thing. Like you do some shit like that, okay, I thought it was ha key, what, yeah. But everybody in the organization was like, of all people you can do that to, like JR, why you pick him? Like,
yeah, I'm looking at that roster. Him? You're my last pick on that roster who I would do that to.
Yeah. Like, why him? Of all people, you know how he is.
Well,
I wanted, If I could have got JR address that night, I would have did something stupid probably.
We love JR in New York. I mean, we're all, Knicks fans love J.R. Smith. He was a sixth man of the year here. He was great. I do remember when the DM went viral of JR asking a woman if she's trying to get the pipe. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Good or bad pickup line?
Hey, listen, man.
Because he is describing his penis as a pipe. That sounds pretty big.
Straight to the point. Hey, listen, she gonna accept or she ain't.
Are you a Skyline Chili guy or Gold
she
Star?
Going with it, that shit. Oh no, I neither one. Oh my God, that shit bad.
I don't get it either. I think
that shit bad.
I don't understand.
Oh, that's bad.
It's fucking nuts. I'd rather have a chili
dog.
Thank
you. Oh, that shit is, and it's sweet. And they put the shit over spaghetti. Oh, it's sweet. Oh, no, thank you. For 4 years, and we had sponsorship with them and all that. They used to bring that shit to the games and all that. I'm like, no.
Before we get out of here,
it's not gonna happen.
I gotta ask you: are there any Kobe stories you remember that are like maybe funny, or any moments with Kobe that like stand out to you?
Actually, my first time ever seeing him. I wasn't big into the like high school rankings and all that. I mean, I just played basketball. Like I lucked up and got on the AAU team. I had to I caught a Greyhound bus from Dallas to Newark to go to ABCD camp. Took me like 22 hours on a Greyhound to get there. And at that camp, all the names were there. Like I didn't know nothing about these camps. So I was able to get an invitation to go there. And people like just following this dude around like it's like a big deal. And I'm like, yo, who is that? Or what, like, why is everybody? They're like, man, that's the number one player in y'all class. I'm like, what class y'all talking about, man? Like, because they was making us go sit in these SAT classes and certain prep classes. I'm like, oh, he good at school? Like, I'm like naive to this shit. Like, I have no idea. He walking around with a big ass radio, music loud, playing music and shit. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? Like, what make him like that? Man, that's Kobe Bryant. I'm like, who? They're like, that's Kobe Bryant. Like, he going straight to the league. Like, and then this. I'm like, oh, okay. And we went out to ABCD, and I saw why.
Dude, so you have your kids in the league. He's played against Melo. Do you give him any insight? Like, hey, he doesn't like this if you do that right here. You got to, right?
Oh, Yeah,
everything.
absolutely. Well, everybody that
Sabotage.
played, anybody that played that I played against that's still in the league or was still in the league his first 3 years, oh, absolutely. Like his first time he played against Paul Millsap, he hit me like, yo, I think I'm going to have to guard Paul Millsap tonight. I'm saying, what do I need to do? I told him how to play him, you know what I'm saying? Because Paul was my era. I played a lot of games against Paul. With Melo as well, you know what I'm saying? Force him here. You're going to try to get into your body. You're going to do this on the free throw line. You got to get in there early because he's going to try to quick you in certain situations like that. Now, see, I got to give him his cheat code.
It's got to be so satisfying seeing young Buck play. That's almost like an extension of your career. Yeah, I have a 5-year-old, and we go to soccer practice, and I see her do something good, and it's like I just scored a fucking touchdown. I can't imagine watching my son in the league.
Oh, I can only imagine how you're going to have their footwork, though. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a footwork mean on that soccer on the pitch. You're going to have a out there doing what I'm saying?
I got to trick her and like bribe her with candy to make her go out and practice and shit. It's a little different with a little girl. She like nothing but unicorns and horses.
You ain't got to tell me. My daughter had 7 soccer teams. She been doing the same shit for the last 2.5 years, 3 years. Listen, and I'll be out there. She tell me, Daddy, you can't keep yelling. I said, okay, baby, I'm sorry. Like, she's like, you're making me nervous. I'm like, I'm sorry, baby. I'll try. And the very next week, I'm Dylan, go. She look over there. She be like, shh. I'd be like,
I get it, dude. I get it, man. We appreciate you coming on.
I can be that way at the basketball game. I can be that way at the hoop games. You know what I'm saying? I'm loud in there. You know what I'm saying? So everybody know I'm there. I sit in the front row, and I let everybody know
it. Kenyon, do we miss anything about this era, about this game, about just any NBA stories that we missed out on here?
Nah, man. I think it was dope, man. I just the talking about Kobe, man, and what he meant to the game and those matchups, man. I think people need to hear it. I'm saying how it was, man. It was. That's why I like watching certain guys and certain teams play now, man. It's just that competitive. Like I miss that. Like I miss watching guys compete at a high level. You know what I'm saying? And it means something to more guys. Like that's just what I miss about it. And that's why I enjoy watching my son play, man, because he embodies all that.
It's different generation though. I'm the same way. You watch the new generation play, and the thing to me though, like pregame, like guys are too kiki with each other. Like I used to hate the fucking Jets. I used to want to fucking kill Bart Scott. I saw Ray Lewis before a game. I want to spit near him. Like now everyone's like best friends, hanging out.
By the way, now you're like best friends with Ray Lewis.
Yeah, it's different now. We're on the same team on Inside the NFL. But
absolutely, no, I'm with it, man. All that. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm with you, man. Jules. It irks my ass, man. Like it really chaps my ass at times. Like to see all the hugging and dapping and helping the opposing team up and all that shit. It chaps my ass, man.
I get it, man. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to come talk ball stories with us. If you ever need anything on our end, man, we're there for anything. So
sure.
I'll be out in LA. We'll have to get together and talk some more stories.
For sure. Let's catch up, man.
All right, bro.
Thank you,
appreciate
Kenyon.
you having me on, man.
We love the way you play, man.
Loved it.
It was like it feels like getting in a time machine, just your intensity and the way you throw down dunks and get blocks and compete. I love the enthusiasm. I mean, it was a lot. You played in a lot of cool teams, including one that ripped my heart out. But this Nuggets team, that Knicks team you played on, as we say, once you're a Knick for life. So Knicks fans will love you forever too.
Played the game the way it's supposed to be played. And if you listen to him, knows situational basketball, student of the game. Like it's an honor to have you on our podcast, man, and we appreciate you.
Appreciate it, man.
He was awesome.
Love him even more now. Intense. He was one of those guys that you didn't fuck with in the locker room, clearly, as JR didn't know that. with the popcorn story.
Some poor ball boy had to deal with Kmart. He literally just thought he was part of a fun prank, and then one of the toughest enforcers in the NBA is in his face.
Yeah. I mean, he's just an intense guy. You could tell he just wanted to fucking slam basketballs on people and fight. Like that's a real tough guy.
It's crazy. He played in an era where you couldn't smoke weed, and now I feel like every player smokes weed. Yeah. I mean, they did then too, but like you couldn't do it. They got drug tested.
Yeah, that was a tricky situation. Yeah, man, to hear some of his stories, and it was cool, man. I always cleaned up with those kind of guys on the team that were just like hard motherfuckers. Like you always wanted a guy that ate a steak with like his hands, not a fork and knife. And that's kind of guy Kmart is. You know, just a tough motherfucker. Doesn't care about this. Doesn't care what other people think. Always had. You talked to him about any of his teammates. He had all of his teammates back.
Even when he would criticize someone, it was with love. I mean, you could tell he's a dude that would go to war with you.
Yeah, he's a glue guy. Definitely a glue guy. Jack, did we hit the prop bet? I got a little. I'm
gonna give it to us. We got 2. Sam did it.
How we get 2?
Repeated it back.
Oh, a repeat counts. Okay. We hit it?
Count the repeat.
I was scared to bring it up at first. I was like, let's see if he's cool. And then he smiled. I was like, thank God.
With who?
JR's DM, the trying to get the pipe.
But what's the bet was the beef, right?
No, the bet was would we get 2 or over 1.5s trying to get the pipe.
Yeah.
We went over the bet.
We went over because I said it, then he said it.
Seemed like Kenyon was a fan of that DM strategy also.
Seems like, yeah.
They made T-shirts. Knicks fans would wear the
J.R.
Smith.
I had one of the T-shirts.
You have
even
one?
a Knicks fan, yeah.
You rock one?
I have before.
Jack rocks it?
Jack's got all like the funny, cool little nichey stuff.
JR was absolutely one of the most beloved Knicks of that era because he was reckless. He played the way he DM'd. You didn't know what was going to happen. He'd pull up from fucking way too far out. I mean, he was the king of the no, yes shot.
And strum the air guitar.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. He did do this shit. That was one of the greatest celebrations.
What's the legacy for this game?
The game is more just to talk hoops with Kmart. It's not like it's a great series. The game itself is cool to see the Nuggets beat the Lakers because I didn't like that Laker team. I respected them, but I don't know if it's a great game itself. It's a solid game. I mean, it's an entertaining game. It's just not an iconic game like some of the ones we've had on here. It is a great game. Don't get me wrong.
It was great to see the players like Chauncey Billups and Kmart and Melo against Gasol, Kobe. Like there was great matchups, but you know it still was a game 2 of a Western Conference final. You know, so it was a little tough to find the legacy for this.
The lasting image to me is Kobe and Melo guarding each other because that was like a cool matchup. 2 dudes that respected the hell out of each other.
The lasting image for me is probably the eyeballs that Kmart gave the ball boy as he asked him, who the fuck put the popcorn in my motherfucking car? Like, that's my last.
That is, by the way, that's like a funny thing in movies. You don't realize that people actually do that as a prank.
Dude, that's been done in Patriots.
That's a rich guy prank.
That's very rich guy prank.
Yeah. Kmart's prank was fun. The drug test prank is fun. And then that's like when you do the one and then the guy takes it to 10 and you're like, you ruined a fucking probably really nice car.
Yeah.
It probably smells like Wise buttery popcorn every time he takes a drive after that.
I mean, I'm sure he probably had enough money to get that bad boy cleaned up.
I hope so.
Or get a new car.
That's good. Imagine bringing that to a mechanic or whoever has to clean that. And they're just like, what? Popcorn?
Was it popcorn or was it popcorn from the packages? That's what we didn't ask. Because I think it could have been the popcorn from the packages. You know, you put in like boxes when you ship shit. That's called popcorn too, I think.
Oh, packing peanut kind of vibe?
Yeah. Maybe it was that.
I think it was popcorn.
I think
with
it was
butter?
Redenbacher.
Yeah.
Redenbacher.
The bounce off Kobe inbounds pass is a good image. I think Melo and Kobe is what I think of this. The name of the game. I mean, there's not really a great name for this, to be honest. It's more like you name the series, the Kobe Melo series, almost to me.
Yeah, it's got to be the Kobe Melo series. We'll name the series.
So stakes are pretty high. It is the Western Conference Finals. It's what?
Jack.
Oh, sorry, Jack. What did we forget?
Oh, not a lot. Good ep. I got a little deep dive on. Went to the color palette, hit Pantones. We were talking powder blue versus Carolina blue earlier. The Nuggets powder blue is Pantone PMS 279. UNC blue is a proprietary Pantone 542. For all you color heads out there.
Love it.
We do. Hey, sometimes it's for the color heads, man.
Hey, we want them all. We take all the heads.
You're good, Jack. The depth of research on this podcast knows no
I'm
bounds.
trying to get a job at the paint section at Lowe's after this.
Clip that.
Oh, let's score it.
Stakes, I don't think the stakes are crazy high. I would go like 7-2. I mean, it is
7-2. 7-2 for sure. It was
star
Game
power.
two.
You got to go crazy high on star power because Tom
niner.
Cruise and Jack Nicholson are in there.
It's a 9er. Will
Kobe.
Ferrell, Kobe, Mello.
It's a 9-0.
We'll go 9-0. 9-0.
Is that not high enough, Jack?
That's high. That's real high.
Yeah, but Jack
yeah, no,
Nicholson
worthy
and Tom
though, yeah.
Cruise and Will Ferrell.
Worthy. And
Tom
Terry
Cruise.
Hatcher was there. I just saw on
Terry
YouTube.
Hatcher.
She adds at least, makes a 9.
Yeah. Terry Hatcher tipped the scales. That's what you're saying?
Jack loves a good Terry Hatcher. Gameplay,
It's a good game.
it was good. They were down what? Lakers were down 14 at one point.
It's a great basketball game. There's a lot of entertaining players. Ariza with a great game. Kmart put up good numbers. Kobe and Mello were incredible. Billups. You got to give it like an 8-4, 8-5.
8-4, 8-5. I'll give 8-5.
This is where it's going to get killed. I think it's like a 2-4 or something. The name is not
2-6.
2-6.
We'll give it a 2-6. What's that total us up at? 6.8.
Not bad.
6.8.
A great game. It's just not an iconic game, but it is a great game.
It's a really good game.
An iconic series, but it's not an iconic game.
Yeah, but we got to, it is a game 2.
Yeah.
This was game 7 and they won. Could have been, different story. What do you got, Jack?
Yeah.
I see you over there.
That puts us right in between the Manning 7, which was week 1, 2013, Broncos Ravens, and then just ahead of Ricky's record, Texas versus Texas A&M.
It's good company.
6-8, yep.
It's respectable.
That Manning 7 was badass too, so it surpassed that. I mean, the star power really surpassed it. That's where it really won. But yeah, I mean, this was not an amazing, like, iconic game year because, look, the Magic kind of trumped the Cavs in 6. Then the Lakers won in 5 in the finals. It wasn't like a game that was as iconic as like the next year or the year before with the Lakers Celtics games.
This was straight Lake Show year.
Yeah.
This was straight Lake Show year. We have to give it to them. But follow Games with Names on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. @Games with Names is the handle. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate and review, comment the game you want to hear us do.
That's all for this episode of Games with Names presented by WynnBET. Thanks so much for listening again. And to our sponsors, I'm Sam Morril.
And I'm Julian Edelman.
Thank you so much to Kenyon Martin, and we'll see you the next game.